Hello, I'm Dwayne Dickens, and we are here with the African American Male Student Success Team. And I'm talking with Freeman Culver, and he's going to give us a few thoughts on his ideas with the African American Male Student Success Team. So, welcome, Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Dwayne Dickens. Again, as far as any thoughts with the African American Male Student Success Team, I think it's a good initiative for our college. And it's in its early stages, but this past year, I believe that we've taken a good stride towards mentoring African American male students at TCC.
Okay. Well, my first question for you is, can you give us one of your best memories thinking about this last year of some of your work with the African American Male Student Success Team?
Best memories. I think that the midterms, when I first followed with my mentees after the midterms, two of my mentees had good grades on their papers. And that was very exciting because I know that with them having the excitement of making a good grade during the midterms, I knew that they would finish the semester on good terms. And it happened to be true. So seeing students succeed in the classroom mid-semester, that was really exciting for me. And to know that by asking them questions like, do you have your syllabus? Have you gotten your books? Do you know the expectations for your professor? Asking questions like that, I knew that this mentoring program had some type of impact on the student lives in the classroom. So that was a good memory for me.
Okay. Now, the flip side of that, of course, would be what would you consider to be some of your most challenging memories regarding this last year of working with African American male students?
Well, students that were assigned to us, it was random chosen for each mentor. And some students you're able to reach more than others. But still you have a common goal as far as helping them succeed. One particular student had a lot of barriers outside the classroom, dealing with his health and dealing with his family status. And I was not able to really help him like I wanted to. I received some help from other mentors like Michael Singleton that helped me assist this young guy. Later on, he moved on to New York. But recently I found out that he's moved back to Tulsa, and he called me this week. So maybe with more intervention, maybe we can get him back in school and get him doing well, because he didn't do well. The first semester I had him as a mentor, he didn't pass in his classes. So that was very challenging, and I don't think I did too well as far as having an impact on helping him grow.
What kinds of challenges did he seem to encounter?
Well, first of all, this young guy, he's capable of college work, but he had a learning disability. And we have services at Tulsa Community College to help students with disabilities. And I gave him the information about the place at Metro Campus, even though he was taking classes at Northeast Campus. I told him that they had the resources at Metro Campus that could help him. And this learning disability, I believe, was his attention span. And he had background with seizures. And in high school, he had a seizure, I believe, during school one time. But his disability, learning disability, really kept him from doing well in school. And even though I gave him the information, he didn't really press on and make that contact with the resource center. And I really think that that's what happened. I could have took him up there, but being that the particular job I have is it's TCC, but it's still grant funded, I'm not able to do certain things that I would like to do, because my certain job comes first, and the mentoring I always have to come second. So I feel like this is kind of personal, but I feel like if I was in a position to make the mentoring a priority, then I could have did a whole lot better with him. Because for him, transportation was an issue, but I couldn't just leave my post to go pick him up because I serve different high schools. So I believe, honestly, that's my perspective on that.
Okay. Okay. Well, sort of looking more specifically at you, how do you feel your past educational experiences prepared you to be a mentor for the African American male success team?
Yeah, it's ironic that when I came to Tulsa Community College, Earl Goodman and Michael Singleton came to me and asked me to be part of this success team. It's ironic because without a mentor, I would have never had matriculated from my bachelor's to my master's program. But there was a mentor in my undergraduate school, Tuskegee University, and now has his PhD. But he mentored me. He actually stayed right next to me in the same apartment, even though he was my professor. We lived right next to each other, and he took an interest with me, and he challenged me. He gave me reading lists. He took me to different graduate schools. Without that mentor, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. I don't feel like I would even be marketable as far as getting a job that I would like to have. So restate that question because I want to answer it fully. Yeah.
Okay, well, based on your college experiences, what about your past experiences helped prepare you to be a mentor for students at TCC?
Great. I think I was answering.
You were.
Going through that mentoring stage, I always felt like once I get to a point where I can sustain as far as in the college environment, that I should do the same thing that he done for me. And I think that this student success team has given me the opportunity. I haven't been able to do it to that standpoint as far as giving students that really one-on-one attention that he gave to me. But I always have an open door policy for students. They can come in my office whenever they want to. So my experiences as far as like a lot of these students, they may start school one semester and the next semester they take off. I can relate to that. You know, I started school and went to college for 1 year, took off. And with this, when I came back, I found this mentor. And he told me, even though I took a year off, I need to graduate on time or I would be behind. So I took 20 credit hours each semester until I graduated on time. Without that mentor, his name was Maurice Hobson. Without Maurice Hobson, I wouldn't have graduated on time. I wouldn't have made a success in going to graduate school and graduating, making great grades. So, and now being a mentor, I believe I can give back. And it's just only begun. I believe I'm going to do more in the future.
Okay, well, thank you. Could you describe what you consider to be a successful college student?
A successful college student. That's a good question. I believe a successful college student is a student that's organized, a student that cares about their personal self-education and goes beyond what the teacher or the professor, as far as the material goes over, and has a curiosity about different subjects. A great college student is a student that's involved with student activities outside the classroom. Basically, a student that's able to soak up everything that the college has to offer, and at the same time do well in their classes. Because I believe college is a social event also, and I believe a great college student should be a student that's great academically, and a student that's able to be social also, networking with people that work on campus and with other students. That would be my definition of a great college student.
Okay. And so based on your definition and thinking about the students who you mentor, African American males, what describe or compare the African American male students you mentor based on that definition?
Well, past year, I was assigned 4 students, but honestly, I work with more students than just that. There's a plethora of students that I work with, and I would say out of the 7 students that I worked one-on-one with this past year, I would say one of them would be what I would consider to be a great student. A student that's great academically and take advantages of all the services on campus, that takes time to do their financial aid on time, takes time to seek other scholarship monies, takes time to ask questions when they don't know the answer for something, and use the mentoring program as much as they can. Some of the students that I've mentored, they honestly, they don't really take advantage of the services that TCC or this mentoring program has to offer. They really come to see me because of the social aspect. They like coming to my office knowing that somebody cares about them. And many times, a lot of those students are not motivated in the classroom. This particular student I was telling you about, he's a great college student. He wants to take classes with teachers and professors who he feel like will challenge him. He actually brought your name up one time. He said he didn't want to take your class on Metro campus. I don't think he's done it yet. But I've came across one student that's like that in our mentoring program. And he's a leader, but he's not as outspoken as he should be. But I believe that we have other students like that in the mentoring program. But they have to be willing to take it to the next level and get out of their comfort zone. And know that college is about growing, academically first and socially second. That's what I would say.
Okay, and so thinking about the students who they weren't quite there yet, what would you encourage them to do in order to get to being that great college student?
Honestly, I share with some of my mentees that they need to read more. I share with them at least even reading the newspaper every day, or finding, like we had a book reading. Many of them didn't take advantage of that, but read something that you would like to read. And I think a lot of the mentees, in order for them to take it to the next level, they have to want it for themselves. And a lot of times when they look at their future and as far as job prospects, a lot of times they get motivated on that aspect. Hey, one day I'm going to have a family. I'm going to have to provide for them. So either I'm going to do this college thing and be successful at it, or I'm going to get a second-rate job for the rest of my life. So I've had this discussion with a lot of my mentees, and some of them has motivated them to take it to the next level. Some of the mentees are back this semester, and one in particular, I believe he's going to do a lot better from having that talk with me. It's all about being willing to open yourself up to learn and grow, because nobody knows it all. But if your work ethic is where it should be, which I talk to my students about, mentees about getting a good work ethic. And like I said, I mean, read, learn more material, not just reading, but learning and grasping more material that can only help them in life. So that's what I've done.
Okay. When you consider your role as a mentor for the African American students, what are some of the most significant obstacles you faced in helping the males actually be successful?
Yeah, I haven't been trying to get too personal, but like I brought up earlier, I work at TCC, but the position I have is I already mentor students. I mentor 50 high school students, preparing them for college. Mm-hmm. And so I already do this every day. Adding the African American male mentees is no challenge as far as adding them in my everyday work life, but it's a challenge doing things that I really like to do with them. Like sometimes they come in my office and stay 2 hours. A lot of times I'm working while they're in my office. I would love to be able to take some type of work time with them and do certain things, but I'm not able to. Other challenges, like I said, is transportation thing. Like I had a student want to take your class, but I think that getting to Metro campus, I think that was a problem for him. Other challenges.
Well, you could go back and address, you said there were some things you wanted to do. What were some of the things that you
I wanted to
do?
Let's get back. Yeah. A lot of things going on in my mind. I honestly wanted to set aside a time to work with them beyond my office. A lot of times I'll be working on projects in my office for my job, and they would come in, they would need help with their schoolwork, and I would have to result into sending them to like the Facet Center, which is a tutoring resource center at Northeast Campus. I would love to be more one-on-one with them, but the time I'm able to be one-on-one with them, they're gone when I get off, because a lot of students take the classes in the morning, then they do their little gym, and then they probably come in my office around the afternoon when I'm still working, but they still come because they know I care for them, and I'm able to help them when I can. I have branched off and gotten with other student organizations to help students. Organization like BCM, Baptist College Ministries. Me and the program director, we have set aside time where he's gotten the students and we tutored them in their most difficult subjects. But like I said, I believe if I had more professional time in my job to work with this mentoring program, I believe I can do a whole lot better to help my students, as far as helping them with a resume, helping them with, because all they talk about is finding extra money, finding some type of part-time job. I would love to help them secure that. I would love to help them most of all academically, as far as telling them how to approach their professor when they're having difficulties. I have been able to I have become an academic advisor for all my mentees. Whenever they get ready to do their schedule, I go in to the Career Advisement Center with them. A lot of the people don't like me being there, but I still go, because even though I don't say nothing while we're there, that presence shows them that, hey, they got to take this student serious, regardless what the transcript says, because a lot of students have barriers that's been present, and it kind of has been hurting them academically.
Okay. Thank you. What resources have you found to be most beneficial to you as a mentor in helping African American male students?
The best benefit has been people like you, Michael, Earl Goodman, Frederick Artist, other mentors who have experience helping young individuals at a college. Many of you all have been here 3+ years, have experience working with students, and you all have been a great resource, because whenever I need an answer about something, I can come to someone like you, Michael Singleton, Earl Goodman, whatever question I have. And a lot of times, like being new to this mentoring component, whenever a student has an idea to do something, I would jump on it, because that's the type of individual I am. But if I come to you or Michael Singleton, you would say, okay, we can do that, but let's look and see how we can do this, not just do it. There's always some type of restrictions to everything when you're dealing with students. Like most recently, I had an idea to take students to visit a college in Southwestern, and I believe we're going to do that. But it's a lot of things we got to set aside and do before we do all that. Because I'm young also, just like my mentees. And a lot of times, being youthful, you have a lot of energy, but sometimes you have to catch yourself and know that you have to look at things through a certain framework. How can you really help these students? Yeah, so.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, when you consider the mentoring team, just the broader team, what would you add or change about the current mentoring team to help you become a more effective mentor?
I think that we're doing our best with this mentoring program, but I think that we're not on one accord because um, outside of a few mentors, we really haven't built a rapport to know one each other. To know each other. I know everybody has their own demands at their personal job, but we can do a lot better as far as coming together and getting to know each other even outside of this mentoring program, knowing that to know that we can depend on each other to help these students. I think that we need to really the mentors need to really build a relationship to get to know each other, and we can help these students a lot better. Um, like I said, we all have different job titles. Some of us go up to deans, you know. So I think that we should build. If the students see that we have good relationships, then they know they can trust us. But if they only see one or two or three people that's really involved, and that's who they're gonna flock to. But only that one or two or three can't help as many students as we need to be helping. So I think our mentors need to get to know one of each other better because everybody have gifts and talents. I have gifts and talents. You have gifts and talents. We all have something to bring to the table, but we won't know it unless we collaborate and get to know each other and come up with a plan. I know we have our meetings once a month, and now we're going to have meetings twice a month, which is good. And I know we're opening up the pool for mentors to more people, which is great. But I think the original African American Student Success Team need to get together and link up and get to know one each other better so we can help these students.
Okay, thank you. When you think about your work as a mentor over this last year, what do you wish you had done differently?
I wish I was able to go into the classrooms with my mentees. And like I said, even when I helped them as far as the academic advising with their schedule, I wouldn't say nothing to the professor, just to observe how they are doing, to observe their note-taking skills, to observe. I would take notes and see what they would write on their papers. I think that presence in the classroom, I know this is not high school, but this is a community college. And I really believe that presence in the classroom, knowing that, hey, your mentor might show up to your class just to check on you, see what's going on. I think that right there would be very big. And a lot of students would know, hey, I need to take this serious. You know, my mentor may show up today. And like I said, I know this is not high school, but I know when I go into high schools and I check on my particular students in the job that I have, when they see my face, they know it's serious. Mr. Freeman coming to check on me. And believe it or not, a student may have an F in that class. I'm looking at high school students I work with. They might have an F mid-semester in that class when I come check on them. Believe it or not, most of them turn into at least a C. And then once I talk to the professor, they know that somebody cares. Even though I'm not their mother or father, they know that somebody that cares about their well-being and about their grades. And a lot of times students do better that way, as far as my experience working with high school students. And many of these students are 1-2 years removed from high school. So this is not a 4-year institution. And many of our students are not ready for 4-year environment. So I believe that presence will really help our students. But like I said, if I had ample time to deal with these students, I believe I could do stuff like that. And I believe that's needed.
Okay. When you think about your mentees, what are some of the obstacles that you see that they face in being successful?
Lack of confidence. Um, lack of confidence, personal barriers, family obstacles. Many students that may have a learning disability, many of them, I have too, that have learning disabilities, but they're not open to get help for that. I don't know if they feel uncomfortable by me even bringing it up, but they do not feel like it should be addressed. Other challenges, I haven't really got to know my mentees' parents. I believe that's very important. The parents I do know, I'm able to do more with the student. I'm not trying to say I can be forceful with the language I use, but I can really demand more once I know the student parents. I can really talk to them on a different level. Even though I know 18 and older means that they're a young adult, but many of these students, they still live with their mom. Some of them with their father. But personal barriers, like that confidence thing. Students who have no confidence in themselves academically, they do not do well in class. Once they get a grade that they don't like to have, they stop showing up. I had one particular student, great grades, never been out there to be a leader, never had built his leadership skills. That deals with confidence, knowing that you can do something and take a chance to step out there and do it. So if anything, I think with this mentoring component, we need to help build our students' self-image, knowing that, no, you're not perfect, but you're here and you need to, basically do your homework. So when the time comes for you to be a leader, you'll be more confident. Even if it comes presenting yourself in front of people, you can do a better job. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Now we have about 10 more minutes, but I have a few more questions.
Right.
Based on your experiences with your mentees, what resources would you really recommend that they be using at TCC to be successful?
The Learning Resource Center. I mean, the people that work there, we all know that professors always looked at as the mother or the parent academically, but I really think the people in the LRC are like big brothers and big sisters for our students. I mean, not saying that they would do their homework, but they will help them find whatever resource they need. Students need to take advantage of that. They need to take advantage of resources like the Facet Center, and they need to take advantage of us. Not just socially asking us things that we like to do outside of work, but pick our brain. And I'm glad you brought that up because we had a meeting the other day, and I believe Mary Walker asked about sharing resources with our students. I think that's something we should do, some type of booklet of what resources on campus. I think you brought it up too, but I think there's a lot of resources on each campus, and I think starting with the library, the Learning Resource Center, the tutoring that's offered for all students, and many professors, they will help students. Even if it's an online or blended class, they will assist students and give them resources that they need. But I think with our mentoring component, we need to come up with some type of resource for our students, something that's on paper to help them say, hey, when you have difficulty, result to this. I really think that will help them.
Okay. Thinking about it from the mentee's perspective, you did answer what you would change about the African American male student success team. Thinking about it as a mentee, what do you think they would want to change about the success team?
Honestly, many of them do not know what we're doing here. They've never seen an organization like this, even at their high schools. just like I can give you an example, the student activity professional for each campus, each year they go into classrooms and they talk to them about different student activities that's going to be offered throughout the semester, and the SGA and different organizations. I think the mentees, they wanna know what we really want to do. I know we have a mission statement as far as seeing their success, as far as college completion, certificate, or university transfer, but they want to see us in their classroom. They want to see our presence, because even when we look at the makeup of the professors, they don't see us, meaning they don't see diversity. I really think that, they like what we're doing, and that, we have these annual meetings, we have these bowling nights, we take them to different cultural events, we have them read a book. They really like that, but I really think that they want to see us in their everyday classroom life. And I don't know how we can do that, but and some of them, they probably, like I said, they probably don't really know what our mission is, and we really haven't had that many moments to really tell them what our mission is. They just know that, hey, I know Mr. Singleton, hey, I know Mr. Dickens, hey, I know Mr. Culver. Someone don't really know what we're really trying to do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, considering mentoring activities, you've mentioned several already, but thinking about the activities from the last year, what experiences or what activities would you say were most beneficial in equipping the students for success at TCC?
The initial meeting that we had, the call, that was very powerful. We sent out letters to all the African American male students, and we had a good turnout. I think that initial meeting, that did a lot. But we got to do more stuff like that. Honestly, I was able to work with students within like 2 organizations. Most of the mentees I had, they was also involved with ASA, African American Student Organization. And like I said, that presence, that everyday presence, whatever way you have to funnel it, I think it was a success as far as the call, having that big meeting, as far as linking our students up with other organizations and still being able to work with them. I think that was a success. I think the social nights that we had, I think that was a success. The bowling night, many of our students never been bowling before. Man, that's very enriching culturally. I think that was a success. When the president of TCC came for our graduating ceremony, I think that was, most of all, that was a success. Many of the students had never seen his face personally, one-on-one. I think that did a lot to change our students. I really think that graduation ceremony was great for them to one-on-one get the chance to meet the president. And I think more stuff like that, to know that even administration wants them to be successful.
Okay. What experiences or activities would you do less of, if any?
I think we went to a football game last year. I mean, that's okay. But students do that on their own time. I think we did it as a way to, get to know them one-on-one. But I think we shouldn't do so many cultural events. We should do educational stuff with the students, because a lot of educational stuff they'll never be exposed to, like college visits, stuff like that. So when they deal with stuff like entertainment and sports, I think that if we do it, that's fine. If not, I wouldn't care.
Okay. What would be your suggestion? You know, we're trying to institutionalize what the work that we do. What would be some suggestions or a suggestion for how to institutionalize the work of the African American Male Student Success Team?
I think if they make this part of the college-wide department, I think you would need a director. I think you would need an academic coach, counselor, and I think you would need an office manager. And I think you can mirror this program to a program that's already set up. Tulsa Cheese. Honestly, Tulsa Cheese is a great program, but it's not really hitting the students that we would like to give resources to. I really believe that this should be institutionalized. This program right here if we had a department like this, we would be able to educate more Hispanic and African American students, minority students, than we could ever do before this, if this was made in stone. This is needed because, like I said, when students go in the classroom, a lot of them don't see diversity. So if we're going to address that diversity issue, a department aiming at helping minority males and females, that would really be big for our school. And I really believe we will get national attention if we set up something like that.
Okay. Moving to advice for teachers and staff, what kind of advice would you offer to teachers and staff at TCC in order to help them work toward moving students, African American male students, to success?
I think they should have high standards for all students. But at the same time, they should realize that there are cultural barriers for certain students. And if they have any questions, I think that they should seek our program. There's a representative on each campus. They should seek help from our program, our success team. They should seek help and get advice from our team to help students. And that's been done right now. Some of my students had issues, and guess who came to us? The professors came to us before they even came to student. So that's been going on right now. So we have some great teachers here. So I think if a professor have issues with students, of course they should talk to the student and also realize they can rely on us to make sure that the student does what he or she needs to do, and what he needs to do in the classroom.
Okay. Now, are there any questions that I did not ask that you just thought I was going to ask today, that you came prepared to talk about, that you want to respond to?
There's one. Honestly, I know that the success team is basically a pilot program. And I believe last year we had 700 and roughly 800 students, African American male students, registered. But we only got about 50 to become part of this program. Honestly, I thought we was going to address that, because even though we're working with those students, great, we're doing great things with them, there's 90% out there that's lost. Now, like some people say, some of them don't need our help, but I'm here to tell you, they do. I had great. Once I got my mentee, my grades improved drastically. I would see every student, and then once I got hooked up with that mentor, I became an A, B student. And I really think that this should be institutionalized, because this should be permanent, because that's 700 plus students out there that we don't have no hold on. And many of those students they first generation students, first in their family to even think about college. And they need someone to help them. Even though we're trying to bring them to our success team, it's still not coming. This need to become part of a curriculum. I really believe that, because even though we're a pilot program, we're making some strides. We're doing good things here. And I thought that we would probably talk about why we didn't have a bigger turnout. Yeah, but
So why do you think we didn't have a bigger turnout?
it's new, but at the same time, like I said, if we was part of the classroom environment, we would have had bigger turnout. I know we contact them by email. A lot of students don't even check their My TCC email. It has nothing to do with culture. It's just students don't check it. They check their personal email. That's probably why they give you a chance to forward those My TCC emails to your personal. But I think what we need, I know we doing this as a pilot program, but once this stage is over, I think we need to involve and help a whole lot more students. But we can't do this by allowing professionals to use their own free time to work with these students. That's not enough time. We need somebody that's doing this every day and then using our team as a resource. But we need some people that's thinking about this every day. 8 hours a day, we need people that's working on this. And until we do that, it's not going to be successful like we want it to be. I mean, we have professors on our team, deans, academic coaches, technology specialists, student activity specialists. We don't have time to really give our students enough attention like we want to. We need somebody that's going to lead this. We got a great chairperson, don't get me wrong, but we need somebody that has time throughout the week, 40 hours to address this. So that's why I think this should become part of the TCC permanently.
Thank you, Freeman.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That was nice.
Thank you, sir.